you're starting to record, and it's okay.
Can you like edit things out if I screw up?
Yes, that's the whole point of recording it.
So, see how that goes, but we don't edit this, so Jonathan's going to be a little bit nervous. Ha ha ha.
Give me a few lines. Hello, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Project.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. Get on up here.
Don't be shy.
This is so cool. I can't wait to share
How
you
long
with
is it?
everybody. Not very long.
About 25,
20
26 minutes. We're fine.
That's
Ready? Here we go.
Nah, it'll be fine.
I'll give her a 2-minute warning for the break, and then I'll give her a 2-minute warning for the end of the show. You look great. You look delicious, man. And then in that last 2 minutes, the warning, she'll ask you your contact information.
Okay.
So think about how you want to get that website,
Just the website.
email. What? No phone number?
No
What
phone
people call you for in the morning? All right.
No, just website. There's a phone number on the website if they want.
All right. Here we go.
Well, hello there. This is Susan Hamilton, and you're listening to the OffBeat Business Show. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable lunchtime with us. I always try to bring you guests that have the very most to offer you as a business for business platform. We represent the 80% of American small business that are family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. That means that we're building our business while we're raising our kids, taking care of our parents. We probably have an addict in our family. We either are impacted positively by a veteran that brings skill and discipline to the table, or possibly they're struggling with reintegration for a myriad of reasons. This is not your great-grandpa's business. We are living in a very fast-paced world, and the OffBeat Business Show and Magazine tries to respect that. For you, business owner, we want to bring you the very best so that you can shine, because we know that when you have more time and more money, you're kicking butt, and you're making a difference in this community. And friends, we need you. And so today I'm going to be talking with my genius magazine designer, and also our app designer. This is Jonathan Bodnar of Apollo App Designs, and I got to tell you, I'm just thrilled since I met this guy. He's doing a lot with business today. He's one of the younger faces that you're going to see in business today, and he's really shining. I've got to say, we've got a great creative mind, but also his heart for business is one of the areas where our friendship has really been nice, because we care about you guys. We want to bring you the very best. So this is Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Susan. I really appreciate it.
So Jonathan, the app is beautiful. You sure did make it easy for our audience to find every single thing that they need from us. Geez, you put everything all together on there.
Well, like me and my team are really glad that you like the app, but we're even more glad to hear that other people are enjoying it, that other people are reading the content and using the app for exactly why we created it. So
that's wonderful. And by the way, friends, if you have not downloaded your app, get over there to offbeatbusiness.com/apps and get one for your iPhone or your Android, or you can go to the Google Play Store or iTunes and download your own from either one of those locations, but make sure you're using that app. So Jonathan, you've given me, with the OffBeat Business Show magazine, a range of things that we can use. You've got a range of tools inside this app, but you were telling me there's so much more for business owners today, and you and I have had the most fun talking about, because you know I'm silly and I don't know all this stuff, and you know it like the back of your hand. But friends, there's a ton you can do with those apps. Until Jonathan actually showed me how it could benefit my company, I had no idea. And now I'm telling everyone, you don't understand how easy you just made it for the customer to do business with you. Jonathan, tell us about some of the really cool features in app design today.
Well, first, Susan, the biggest value behind having an app is the fact that you're going to get consistent branding and rebranding. TechCrunch estimates that, or says that, the most valuable piece of property that you have is right here on your phone. And the reason being is because the minute somebody opens up their phone, they see your brand. They see your icon repeatedly throughout the day. Most Americans spend 3.5 to 4 hours on their phone every single day. Imagine how much branding that is. You get, what, a 30-second spot on TV, if that? But every single day, having your logo, your icon on the front screen of your customers is huge.
It's so, it didn't occur to me, but you're absolutely right. You automatically, the more frequently your brand is seen by your audience, you have a 60% higher favorability rating.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've even heard some people say 80% more. I mean, it's a huge, huge difference.
And the fact that they have like your app on their phone, and then later on they either hear a radio spot or they see your logo or something, they're instantly going to recognize it. They're instantly going to know it, and they're not going to have to go. They're not going to have to go search for your website. They're not going to have to go search for a phone number. They're not going to have to go search for anything. They recognize the logo. They recognize your brand, and they have it on the front page of their phone. And so they just open up their phone, and they can grab your app, and you have all of your contact forms, you can have all of your information and all of that, and we'll get into features in a minute. But first, the big thing about app design is that it's all about your content. It's all about what you have to offer the world, what you have to offer your clients, what you have to offer just people that would download your app and everything. And so
really, they need a reason, right?
Yeah. And so when considering an app for your business or your organization, we actually do business app design, we do nonprofit app design, we do church app design, which is a very, very big industry right now. There are probably one new app design competitors for churches every month. There's a new company that pops up, but a lot of them fizzle out because they don't have the team, 2, they don't have the features, and 3, they don't have a powerful platform like we do. What makes Apollo Apps the most powerful platform out there and makes us the most powerful app designer out there is that we don't develop your app from ground up. We live in the 21st century. Nobody needs to sit there and code for hours and hours and hours anymore. Because if you wanted previously, say maybe 15, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago actually, if you wanted an app designed, you would spend close to $100,000 just to get, just an app with some articles and some information, a phone number, and your a live stream or something like that, and your YouTube videos. Well, today, because of the technology that companies like myself and companies like I have plenty of friends that are doing the exact same thing, plenty of business partners that are using platforms a lot like ours. But because we're in the 21st century, we've built tools that cut the time and the development cost almost in half, if not more. Right now, you can find an app starting at about $1,500 for your company, whereas before you would have spent anywhere, like I said, anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000.
You know what typically people ask, and what I had to really come to grips with, and you may have the same question, friends, is what on earth was the difference? And this I had to see it to understand it. But what's the difference between a mobile website and an app? Because a lot of people feel like, well, geez, if I've got a mobile website, I don't see the purpose in it. But what you've already mentioned, the first thing, as far as I'm concerned, is that icon. That is yours, your branding right there, and the ease of use to get to you immediately. That you're among their things that they're wanting to.
As big as the branding is, it's probably the smallest benefit of having an app on your phone, and the smallest difference between having a mobile website and a mobile app. The power of having a mobile app is really the question of how accessible are you.
Yes.
If you sit there and you're doing a radio spot like this, and you tell somebody, go to such and such and such and such and such catering uk.co or whatever, it's like nobody really remembers those URLs. Nobody really remembers a lot of that. And if you're lucky, you'll get a catchy phone number. But the truth is it's like websites, phone numbers, like all of that, it's not as accessible as you would want it to be. And it's only when they're thinking about you. And the truth of the matter is if you have an app on a phone, if you have an app on the phone, they can access you 24/7. They can access your resources, they can access your videos, they can access tools. And I'll explain to you in a minute how businesses can actually be incredibly successful and see a massive return on investment when they get an app.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fantastic. The accessibility factor is really something for our organization in particular, to be able to get to the show, push the button, you open the app, boom, you're on the show, boom, you're on Facebook, boom, you're on Twitter, boom, you're on Yeah, you're looking at the digital magazine. Oh, wait a minute! I want to see the article. Boom, boom, boom. They can go and see the
All
article
through your
function
app.
and our YouTube channel. All of that's very accessible right there, which all of a sudden it just amplifies everything that our business is able to do because of this capability that you've built into it.
Yes.
So I definitely see the advantage of that, and I see more and more now how the average business owner really does need this, because there are still too many steps to go about going to even a mobile website, friends. Unless you are in, now I get the need of it. If you're on social media and you see that link and it goes to your mobile site, that's an advantage to you. You've just made it very easy. But if I learn about your company and I need to go to it, I'm going to search for it on Safari. And if I'm searching for it on Safari, that's a time-consuming thing. That's not an easy thing. That button, boom, 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 it pulls you right up there just as easy as your Facebook icon. All right?
Well, the amazing thing with our company is we're actually one of the few app companies that offers an HTML5 web app with your app. And what that is essentially a mobile optimized HTML5 version of your app. And so essentially, just in layman's terms, it's your app on a browser. And so if somebody visits your URL on like Safari or on Chrome or anything like that, it can pull up the mobile or the browser version of your app that we built you. And so you can have the same features, the same functionality, the same value from your app on a browser as well. And we all know the power of mobile websites and everything. And the truth of the matter is again, TechCrunch estimates, the mobile experts at TechCrunch estimate that in the next 2 years, apps will actually replace web design.
That
and
doesn't
websites.
surprise me. That it really doesn't surprise me at all, because we are just in that economic climate and in the environment where we need to make it as easy as possible for people to do business with us. And quite frankly, the people that have taken that extra step and to make themselves that accessible are going to get the business while others suffer. So that, I think, is a very true point.
The businesses that are going to be most successful with their smartphone apps, we build apps on iOS, Android, and Windows, and so you're going to be already on all of the platforms. All right, that means you're accessible to over 3 million people every single day. Okay, so the most powerful thing, though, the businesses that are going to be most successful in using these apps and is the businesses that are going to have reoccurring content for their customers. Okay, so apps are driven by something called push notifications. If you've ever got a notification from your Facebook page saying so-and-so liked your photo, that's a push notification. Push notifications are actually opened at an 88% rate compared to email, which is only opened 22%. Not let alone responded to probably 2 to 3%. If you're lucky, their emails have a 2 to 3% click-through rate if you're lucky. Well, the businesses that are going to be most successful with using an app are the businesses let's say you have a nursery, and you wouldn't think a nursery would use an app, right? Well, wrong, because what a nursery can do is a nursery can post out an article every single week and have their users open up their app and read an article about planting that week or that season's plants that are most successful in that season, and so on and so forth. And so
you're giving me ideas.
When you teach your clients how to open up your app every single week because you have new content, you have new information, you have new resources, that's invaluable. What you're doing is you're constantly building reoccurring business and customers, because the minute that those people think nursery, they're going to think your app, because for the past 6 months, every single week, you've given them resources. You've been their source of trust.
And it's not annoying because they've initiated it, you didn't. Friends, I hope you're enjoying this conversation with Jonathan Bodnar of Apollo App Designs as much as I am. I always just really, really enjoy his spirit in this and how animated. And I know that's going to ring true with you. So we're going to go take a break and listen to some of our sponsors. When we get back, we're going to talk more with Jonathan. This is Susan Hamilton. You're listening to the OffBeat Business Show.
Oh, I didn't realize you were taking a break. Oh, talk so much and then you throws me off. I talk too fast.
That's all right.
But
It gives you
I
chance
realize I
to,
had
to,
so much to talk
figure out
about.
what you want to talk about next.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, there we go.
I think it'd be really cool if the first thing you asked was features, like
Mhm.
asked about the features and everything, and then like what they can put on their apps. And then after that, you can ask like, okay, well, what are some of the things that you guys are doing with the apps or whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that'll fill up.
Yes, sir. We're gonna learn about features now.
Mm.
You're gonna dig it. Wait till you find out what you can do.
All right, ready for part 2?
Yes.
All right. Let's put some butter on this corn.
All right. And we're back. This is Susan Hamilton, and you're listening to the OffBeat Business Show. I'm talking with Jonathan Bodnar of Apollo App Designs and also Dreamcasters. He's been taking care of our beautiful, beautiful digital magazine. If you take one look at that and go, oh, wow, that's really nice looking, that's because Jonathan's got his hands all over it there and is a design genius. And now he is sharing with us some of the things that I wanted you to know, friends, because we represent the 80% of American small business that are family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less, meaning our lives are busy. We're taking care of our kids, our grandkids, our parents, our veterans, and we have lives that we need to get the information we need and get out. We've got to really shine because we can have a much bigger influence in our communities locally, nationally, and abroad when we have a strong brand and we're making good money and we've got that time that we need to actually think about what's going on with the legislation that directly impacts us, but also to see how we can actually meet the needs of the community, which is, of course, why we are in business after all. And Jonathan and I share that vision. And Jonathan, we were talking about how much easier it makes it to work with your customers, how easy it makes it for your customers to work with us and to actually buy from us when we've made it simple through using an app. And you mentioned that you've got some, and we've really just dabbled it in our own personal conversation, but you've got some cool features that I'd like for you to share with our audience, because I don't think many of them haven't thought through how can an app help me.
I love that you asked that. The truth of the matter is a lot of people think, like, especially if you have like a service-based business, well, why would I need an app? And we kind of touched a little bit on the previous segment about the article feature and just reminding your clients via push notifications of the articles that you can send out every week. And so, like, just to touch on a couple of the best features that we have is, of course, an app is not a website, and so an app is not full of all of your company history, all of your, it's not full of a ridiculous amount of information. If somebody owns your app, they already know, what you do, who you are, and kind of what your services are.
Interesting. So this is a level 2.
Yes,
client.
yes.
Okay.
So once you've made a sale, once you've kind of produced a client and they're paying you and they're you're doing a service or you've given them a product or anything, pushing them to download your app is smart, because that builds your recurring clientele, your returning clients, because what it does is it builds the trust, kind of like we were talking about earlier with push notifications and articles and just giving them resources and everything. So some of the powerful features that we kind of focus on with businesses is first and foremost is your articles, which are going to be your content marketing. Any web designer, any SEO client, they're going to tell you, you got to focus on your content marketing. Write up some articles, write up some, good content for your SEO on your website. Well, more so, you write those up so that your clients continue to trust you, and they trust you as the only source. You don't want, if you're a home repair company or something, you don't want them to go to Home Depot and try and find information that you could provide, right? Mm-hmm. So you want them to see you as the sole source of whatever industry that you're in.
And I would say that there's that, but with content, it's also making sure you're educating them on how to best use you, because
exactly.
that, in fact, is what sets you apart.
Best use you and your service that you've offered them. And so, for example, if you're a design company, giving them content that, is in relation to advertising and designing and, how to pick, what type of design to do, all sorts of things. And so content is a really big part of it. YouTube videos, just any sort of content that you have, we integrate. We have a CMS that we integrate directly into your app, and so you can upload all of your articles, your images, your videos, your podcasts, all of that directly into your app. We also do social network integration, which what that is we build your Twitter or your Facebook directly into your app. So your users, if they have your app, they don't have to go find your Twitter, through the actual Twitter app. It's right there on your app. They can follow you, they can tweet, they can retweet, they can favorite, so your social engagement just skyrockets, okay?
Right.
So you've got content, you've got the social networking. We've got dynamic forms on there so people can contact you when they do want to do reoccurring services or when they want to come back, for seconds of your service or your product or whatever.
Wonderful.
And
they can ask you questions. It sounds like you've given them an opportunity to approach you and to dialogue with you.
On the apps, you can actually have your users submit if say you're a construction company or even a repair company, and you want your users to submit a question, but they have to submit a photo. Well, your users can take a picture of, let's say their toilet screwed up, and you take a picture of the toilet, you send it in, and now you have a direct dialogue with your client.
And I got to tell you something. I have talked about this for a very long time because this is so important. Think about the implications this means for you as a residential service company, for instance, as Jonathan mentioned. That before and after picture now has so many uses. That before and after picture it's saving you time. As the plumbing technician, you've got to run out and go get that product. Well, now you're not messing around wondering what it is. You've got an image of what you're dealing with. You are better able to pre-estimate that job especially if you're a time and materials person. Company, you may bill on that. You may bill flat rate, but when you get to the job, it's completely different than what it was what you'd assumed based on that conversation. That picture tells you so much. But not only that, Jonathan, it gives you more content because before and after is very simple blogging, and people understand a visual so much faster than they'll read text. That's just a huge thing. Plus, you've added to your marketing arsenal images that you have a legal right to for anything that you need to do for your marketing in the future in business. So I can't stress that enough. I love that. I love that.
Susan, one of the companies that we worked with, what I saw them do is they would kind of take that concept you're talking about. They would get a photo of whatever service they finished or whatever, and they put it in an article that would be on the app, and then they'd send out a push notification that said, hey, check out so and so who's using our service. And users like I mentioned last segment, push notifications have an 88% open rate, and so when a user opens that, they instantly see a job that you just did for somebody else. And so push notifications can be attached to any sections on your app, any of your articles on your app.
So this is something that somebody from inside the company does, or do they need to approach you?
No.
And
we have one of the most easy to use platforms where you can upload all your own articles, you can upload all of your videos, your podcasts, or we can use everything that already exists. So if you don't want to feed two beasts and you have a podcast, you have a website that has articles, then we just port those articles over to your app. And so when you publish a new article on your website, it automatically gets published to your app. So there's no extra work if you don't want it.
Well, that's what we do, and that's why I was wondering, does the average business owner have to go ahead and add their own content? But no. This is something that's going to
if you're already blogging on your website, you already have a podcast going, you've already got resources on your website, we can put all of that on your app without you ever having to bother with republishing any content or anything like that. But we do have the tools. If you don't already have that, we have the tools to be able to offer you, the content management system that is linked directly to your back end. Now, we mentioned push notifications, and what I want to talk about is one of the features in push notifications that is going to blow your mind. Okay?
Blow my mind, Jonathan.
It's called geofencing, okay? And what geofencing, you may have heard it before. If you have ever downloaded a retail company's app, okay? So, for example, Retail Me Not, they do coupons for businesses, right? Now they kind of fizzled out a couple years back. Nobody really uses them anymore. But they kind of touched on the technology, right? So when retail companies or businesses want to get their coupons or their, just information out to their clients that are nearby, they use geofencing. And what geofencing is you define a spot on a GPS, all right? So if this is our location right here, we're going to define the spot, and then we're going to define a radius. We're going to say, a mile within our building here, we're going to define that radius. Now, any of our users that walk in, drive in, or pass by that radius get a push notification, all right? And so that's what geofencing is. For example, with a retail company, let's say H&M. You download an H&M app. You walk past H&M, and instantly they send you, you're right there, right at H&M, and they send you a push notification with a coupon that says, hey, get 25% off. Well, that's going to incline you to go in, isn't it? So you open that push notification.
Hear that, DSW? Get really, really close to that.
I'm working on that.
Or you do that. Yeah.
So the power behind it really is these geo coupons is like all these companies that are now able to offer coupons to like instant coupons to users that walk past their location, that are just deciding what restaurant to go to, and they walk past a Taco Bell, and boom, they get a 10% off these tacos, and they open it and it's a picture of a taco, and they're like, guys, let's go get a taco.
And that's a lot more usable. Today you're probably not clipping out a coupon. You're probably I just think that seems terribly effective.
It's instantaneous marketing. It's invaluable.
That's wonderful. Jonathan, you've got, we're getting down, I could just talk to you for hours. So it sounds like I need to set up an appointment and get with you again, because there's so much I need to learn and continue to share. You had an interesting social benefit to this app. Are you able to talk about any of that today?
A little bit of it, yes.
Yeah. Anything we might share, because we are with this show is airing over the holiday season, and school's out, and parents have the kids home. And if they are staying nearby, or if they're in a new area because they're traveling to go see a relative, and those kids are hanging out and running around, we don't want to scare people, but we are living in a predatory environment today.
Very much so, yeah.
And a lot of us are very aware how quickly our kids are in danger when they're out of our sight, but we don't want to have to hang on to them. So with just a few moments, can you help us understand one thing that geofencing can help us with?
Well, Susan, one of the things we're doing that's so powerful and very close to my heart is we are building an app right now that allows parents to be notified because of the geofencing. The parents are notified in known sex trafficking areas. So anywhere that there has been a known sex trafficking incident, parents can now, with this new app that we're building, because of geofencing, they are notified when they walk into an area that any sort of sex trafficking has taken place. They're notified to keep an eye on their children, to just to keep them aware. And this will be all over the state of Texas, and we'll be launching it all over the nation hopefully as soon as we can. But that's a huge, powerful plus for geofencing and just for awareness for parents in general.
That's fantastic. So I know that you're going to let us know as soon as that is
Yes,
all
definitely.
live, because we'll definitely be sharing that with our audience, and we'll get you on here again. Jonathan, how can our audience work with you? Because they all need an app now, and they need to know how to reach you. Tell our audience how to reach you, Jonathan.
Well, Susan, the best way to reach us is to go to our website. It is Apollo, APOLLO, apps.co. That's apolloapps.co. On there, you're going to get all of our contact information, all of our phone number, you can fill out forms. You can see all of the features we work with. We have over 120 features that are pre-built and pre-packaged, again, cutting the cost of development drastically. So.
Oh, I love that. And I want you to really reach out to Jonathan and have talk with him, because he's very...
I would love to hear from anybody that's curious about getting an app, thinking about getting an app. I would love to hear their mission statement, their vision, and really see if an app is the best choice for them.
And I know from working with Jonathan now for so long that if you when he hears what you need it to do, his wheels start turning. And pretty soon, he is coming up with something that actually works specifically for your needs in business. That'll help your customer and the customers you love, you've been working with for years. It's still important. If you are word of mouth, it is still important to make sure that you are in front of people. And with technology today, it's really become so simple. But you got to know where your resources are, friends.
And you got to take care of the clients you already have.
Absolutely.
And return
Make it
clients
easy.
is everything. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And friends, I know you are looking for resources that help you shine in business. This is just one of many when we talk to Jonathan Bodnar here. So know that you'll be able to find all of our lineup, all of our replays, the digital magazine, all of our sponsor information, all of our social media. Download the app. Everything you need is on offbeatbusiness.com. And we urge you to go check that out and get involved with us. And we want your business to shine, because when you are making money, you are making a difference. This is Susan Hamilton, and you've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show. Merry Christmas.
Cool beans.
cool. Will you take a picture of us?